If you're a bloodthirsty offender, should you then change your gender? It's true, they game the system by changing into her from him. In 2020, 26-year-old Alex Ray Scott allegedly murdered an antiques dealer he met on a dating app, as they all do. Prosecutors said he stabbed the man in the face and slit his throat. Terrible, although this explains why my wife keeps asking me to go antiquing. But now he is a she, and an ugly one. Whew. Alex, who has pleaded not guilty, was back in court this week sporting a new look and revealing a transition to female. Wow, that's more convenient than those shoes that become roller skates. I love those. The 6-foot-tall, 190-pound inmate is being housed in Rikers Island's Center for Female Detainees. Well, we know who's getting picked first for basketball in the exercise yard. Of course, this is happening after 2 women inmates got impregnated by a transgender inmate at a New Jersey women's prison. Then there's Hannah Tubbs, the child molester who also transitioned after the crime. She gained sympathy and an early release for being trans after molesting a child in a bathroom. Tubbs gloated over the slap on the wrist he got. The release was defended by the office of LADA George Gascon, who now faces a recall. And he should be recalled now that Tubbs has been charged with murder for a crime committed after the molestation charge. I know. What's the world coming to when you can't even trust the pedophiles? You know? Kat, I'm going to go to you first because this is, we went back to that woman that says all you got to do is identify as a woman to be a woman. In this case, all you got to do is grow your hair out. You don't even have to remove your junk. This guy's just growing his hair out, and he's a woman. So basically, the left is saying it doesn't take anything to be a woman other than that. Doesn't that upset you?
Again, it takes a lot to get me really worked up. I'm almost confused why more dudes aren't doing this.
I know.
Like, why is there a men's prison at all?
Oh, yes.
What, like, who are those guys and how dumb are they
Exactly.
to still be there when they, like, if you look at Hannah Tubbs, that's a dude that does not even feel like a woman, obviously,
Yeah.
because we're bragging about that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they felt bad for me because I said I was a chick. Like, that's all you need to do? Why is there a men's prison full of guys if they know all they need to say is, I feel like a chick now, and then you go to the chick prison?
I bet there is a line outside like this special red phone that everybody now identifies. Like there's a huge line of male inmates going, I'm now a woman. I'm now a woman. Because that's exactly right. Okay?
Yes.
I mean, what we're seeing again that the Democrats and liberals don't learn is the science of incentives.
Right.
This incentivized this transition because you could get better stuff. Well, safer surroundings.
Yeah, and there have been actually hundreds of transfers in California of men to women's prisons, and the reason they are separate is because it's dangerous for women to be in prisons with men, and there's this complete violation of women's privacy, women's rights to have their own personal spaces, including in prison, and they've thrown feminism like completely out the window by saying all you have to do to be a woman is to grow your hair a certain way and say that you're a woman, and erase all of that while putting women who are in prison in danger by putting men in the same spaces as them.
Yeah.
So I think it's outrageous. They should have their own space, but you can't be a man in a woman's space. They don't just do this with prison, they do this with shelters, with battered women's shelters. So the way that they're forcing women into these vulnerable positions, real women, is absolutely disgusting.
How dare you say real women? That offends me. Because I'm still on the fence. Adam, even with your beard.
Yeah. I could be a woman, you never know.
You know what? Just the idea of describing a beard to a male, to me, comes across as sexist.
Yeah.
And I apologize for that. Would you identify as a woman if you killed someone when you were a man? Because I sure as hell would.
I like all the theoreticals that are in place first, but I guess
Yes, question.
And it feels like that's clearly what these people are doing, because this guy never identified as a woman before that. When he was out there murdering and stealing and stabbing, like the most feminine thing he did was shop for antiques before that.
Yes.
And then when he got arrested, he's like, oh, I'm going to jail. I just remembered, I'm a lady now.
It's wrong, Tom.